I've always had back pain, and they've always just thrown pain meds at me. And I've always said, okay, this doesn't work. I joined the police academy in St. Petersburg, Florida. After a while, I realized anytime we were running, I was like the one that was in pain. And I was kind of like, I just don't think I can make it. I left the police academy because of pain. So I went into nursing. I loved my job. I worked in the OR. I loved being in traumas. Having to sit down every couple of hours was not really an option in nursing, especially in the OR. It was an agonizing pain. I found a doctor and he told me, oh, you have a dead bone and you should probably have surgery. I had the surgery and everything went well. As soon as the anesthesia wore off, I had the pain again. They said, okay, well, we can't give you any more opioids. Maybe something else is wrong. I think my symptoms ultimately are what led him to a CRPS diagnosis versus trying to do anything else. But my condition technically falls under neuropathy, but at its core, it's still pain. Initially, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk, I couldn't drive. I was completely dependent on my husband for everything. I lost my job because they couldn't accept my disability accommodations. I tried to become hopeful, but I felt like there was nothing to be hopeful about. I felt like there was no solution. Initially, I did think this is my life now, and then someone mentioned cannabis, and I was like, oh, I can try medical cannabis. And I began looking at medical cannabis in Texas. Medical cannabis was not something I initially considered. I said I would never do drugs, nothing outside of a prescription. In my mind, it was illegal, it's bad. That was my thought process. And if I had medical cannabis, I was like, that's still bad in some regard. And I started reading other people's reviews and things that they went through. I was like, okay, this might be something for me. My prescription for medical cannabis changed everything. The first time I felt it during the day, I told my husband, oh, look, I'm walking. It really is like someone who's been in jail. You get that like breath of fresh air and you're just like, oh, I can finally do it. I have my life back. I have independence back. I can walk my dogs by myself. I can cook, I can bake, I can work, I can drive, I can do all the things I used to do. With medical cannabis, I can manage the pain a lot more. It's brought back that sense of independence, and it's brought back a way of letting out anger and giving myself that confidence I haven't had for a year. And I think I'm just a friendlier person. It completely released my stigma on cannabis. I thought the worst of it. I thought it was literally the enemy. To think of just where I was like in October versus November, like the two are completely, totally different people. I'm honestly happier and I feel healthier because of it. It was literally life-changing.